Executive Director of Union County Pregnancy Center. Union County Pregnancy Center's purpose is to provide a Christian pregnancy center which exists to provide education and support to women facing unplanned pregnancies. The goal is to equip each individual to provide for herself and her child so that they will be productive members of society. I started the center 20 years ago, it's hard to believe, in June of 1998, and we have been going strong ever since. I'm the founder and director of the Pregnancy Center. My mom, Gail Owens, helped me get started, and the reason we started the Pregnancy Center is I'm an educator, so I teach high school and I work with young adults, and went to college like everybody else and planned to, got married and planned to have children. And after we got married, my husband and I learned that we couldn't have children. And it was a very devastating thing for us. And you don't really understand the value of something until you lose it. And I realized just how precious life is and how important it is. And so we began to look into different options and opportunities for us. And it was very difficult and it was very hard. And you just have no idea how hard it is until someone tells you that something you've wanted your whole life, to be able to be a mother, that you would never be able to have it. And when that doctor told me that we would never be able to have children naturally, it was like every little baby that I ever dreamed of holding, or every little hand I ever, or a little voice to call me mom. It was horrifying. It was so devastating to me. And I just prayed and asked God and said, you know, whatever your will for my life is, I accept that. But if you don't want me to be a mother, you have to take this mother's heart away from me. And so we began to look into our options, and so we applied at an adoption agency. It wasn't really an adoption agency, it was a maternity home, and they had a lawyer who handled adoptions. And we filled out all the paperwork and we sent it in, and it had been over a year and I never heard anything back from them. And I was too afraid to call and ask because I was afraid that they would say no and it would be another devastating loss to us. And that's when I truly began to realize how precious life was and how important it was. And so, long story short, by a miracle of God, we were able to adopt a daughter, and they called me and said, we have a baby girl. If you want her, you have to come get her tonight. We never heard anything, and all of a sudden we had this opportunity. And we went and we got her from the hospital, and she is our child, and I certainly believe that she was always intended to be our child. But God had to teach me the importance of life. He had to teach me that life is precious and that it's intended to be protected. And so she came home with us and to be our child. And I began to realize how easy it would have been for her birth mother to make a decision to have an abortion. She was 21 years old. She had gone away on a college trip, spring break trip, and she had been involved in some relationships, and when she came home, she found out she was pregnant. And she was devastated, 21 years old, trying to finish school. Her parents were very upset and disappointed in her, and she really considered having an abortion. But she said she really felt like that wasn't something that she could live with. So she went through with her pregnancy and went to the hospital and delivered. But after she delivered the baby, she decided that she couldn't take her home with her. And she asked the people at the hospital if they could place her for adoption. So again, I began to realize how important it was. And when I talked to the birth mother on the phone, she told me, she said, I asked her why she chose us, why she decided to allow us to raise her baby. And she said, I knew if I took my baby home with me, she would always be looked at as a mistake, a burden. She said, but I knew if my baby went home with you, she would always be considered a gift. Sorry. And she is the greatest gift that I've ever been given. And I realized how easy it would have been for her birth mother to go into a clinic and have an abortion but how courageous she was to carry her pregnancy to term, to go through all the pains and problems of pregnancy, to go through delivery, and then to do the most unbelievable thing, release her baby, because she knew that's what was best for her baby. She loved her baby enough to choose somebody else to take care of her, and she trusted us enough to be the parents that her child needed. So I really realized the value of that life. But I thought about it and I said, I never want another woman to get to the place that she's in a hospital delivery room and she doesn't have a plan that's good for her and for her baby. I never want another woman to feel the pain of that she didn't have the resources to take care of her child, that she didn't have the skills to take care of her child, and that she didn't have a plan for somebody else to be able to do that. My child could have very easily ended up in the dumpster behind an abortion clinic somewhere. I know the value of life. And so that's why we wanted to create Union County Pregnancy Center. And so everything that we do here is provided free of charge because people love God first of all, and then they want to share God's love with other people.
My name is Marla Gist, and I volunteer here up here at the Pregnancy Center, and I've been doing it for about, I'll say, 17 years. And what drawn me here, I come here with a friend, with her, and then one day I came back with her, and they needed some help. So that's how I got started. And so the center means so much to me, with all the love and the care and the devotion that they give towards the girls and the kids, and not only to them but to the workers. And we all just like one big happy family. And if one's going through, all of us going through it on. That part of the center has impacted my life in so many ways. It lets you get closer to Christ, and it helps you through situations when they rise up against you, and that just makes me feel so good. It's all the compassion, the truly compassion and the love that the center offers. And Miss Lisa goes 100 plus ways out the way to make it. And I thank God for the center because I can come here 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and that's my getaway. That's my release spot. That's my good place. And I can just be me. As when I go home, I have to go back being me, being mom, and whoever else. I got to wear all those hats all over again. But when I come to the Pregnancy Center, I can be me.
It's a welcoming place. They make you feel loved, they take care of you, they've been able to provide me with diapers and food and home essentials.
I've volunteered here at the Union County Pregnancy Center for about 2.5 months. Started here about February of this year. And I've been working every week, day in and day out. And I can honestly say that these volunteers, they work so hard, they're so dedicated. And they just really are passionate about helping out these mothers. The volunteers here are truly the backbone of this organization, and they're what keeps it running. The volunteers or the director, they're not paid for what they do here. They still choose to come every time the doors are open to help. The sad part of this organization being such a small town is the lack of volunteers. Most days we have, on average, only 3 to 5 volunteers, which isn't a lot. And Pregnancy Center, it might not stun you as a place that needs a lot of volunteers, but it actually does. We have maybe at least 10 mothers coming in each and every day with sometimes 2 to 4 children with them. So sometimes the Pregnancy Center is a madhouse, but we love it either way. The Pregnancy Center, we have volunteers just all over the place. We have volunteers running to the back doing pregnancy tests, upstairs sorting clothes and going through baby items, up front taking in new clients and assigning them new work, and then we have some who counsel mothers, so a little bit everywhere. they're everywhere. But it's always a hectic day in the pregnancy center, but we love it. It's just our safe haven. We love to come to, and we wouldn't trade it for anything because we know that we are just impacting so many mothers and just so many in our communities through our small efforts.
It's one thing to say that life is valuable, but it's another thing to do something to prove that it is.